Welcome, everybody. This is Janet Hartnett from the National Disability Institute. We're really pleased today to have all of our partners on the call to talk about the exciting work for 2013 on MyFreeTaxes. First, I'd like to turn it over to Nick Matthews to go through our housekeeping for the webinar.
For today's webinar is being broadcast through your computer, through the audio broadcast panel that you see there. Please make sure your speakers are turned on or your headphones are plugged in. You control the audio via the audio broadcast panel. And accidentally close that panel, or if you notice that the sound drops out, you can close it and open it again by going to the Communicate menu and Join Audio. If you do sound capabilities on your machine or you prefer to listen by phone, you can dial into the number you see there and do not need to enter an attendee ID. At the end of the webinar, we're going to have a question and answer section, and to send in any questions that you might have during the course of the webinar, you can direct them to either me, Nakia Matthews, or Katie Metz through the chat panel, or you can use the Q&A box, and we will direct the questions accordingly to the panelists. If you're listening by phone and not logged into the webinar, you may also ask questions by emailing them directly to Katie Metz at kmetz, M-E-T-Z, at ndi-inc.org. Please note that the webinar is being recorded, and the materials will be placed on the National Disability Institute website at www.realeconomicimpact.org.
Thank you, Nakia. Welcome, everyone. I want to just do a very special welcome to all of our sponsors who have continued to support the work of the Real Economic Impact Network, and I want to recognize Walmart, Bank of America, Accorda Therapeutics, Burton Blatt Institute at Syracuse University, and, of course, our long-term partner, IRS. The National Disability Institute is a national research and development organization with the mission to promote income preservation and asset development for persons with disabilities and to build a better economic future for Americans with disabilities. The Real Economic Impact Network is an alliance of organizations and individuals dedicated to advancing the economic empowerment of people with disabilities. There's over 900 partners in 100 cities. It includes nonprofits, community tax coalitions, asset development organizations, financial and education initiatives, corporations and private sector businesses, federal, state, local governments, and agencies, and most importantly, individuals and families with disabilities. All partners join forces to embrace, promote, and pursue access to and inclusion of people with disabilities in the economic mainstream. We're really excited this year, as I said earlier, to be into our 5th year of the MyFreeTaxes.com campaign to help Americans earned income tax credit using the VA and online services. We are delighted to have with us today our very our sponsor, Carol May, from the Carol May Foundation, and I just would like to say a quick welcome to Carol May.
To be here.
Thank you, Carol. We do a welcome.
You'd love to. Thank you, everyone, for letting me participate today. And I just wanted to give a little background about the Walmart Foundation's work commitment to this program. 5 years ago, the Walmart Foundation put out a challenge to United Way and another grantee to see if there was a way to form a partnership that would bring the income support of Earned Income Tax Credit, or EITC, to more Americans at a price point anyone could afford, free. So today this partnership, however, consists of 2 largest nonprofits in America and a third partner that makes sure that people, NDI, with disabilities benefits from the partnership's activities. The Walmart Foundation's commitment to this work has continued for 5 years because the program continued to grow and improve each of the last 4 years. An example of the power and reach of this program is that the MyFreeTaxes program has actually caused systemic change in the tax system in America. When this program began, the U.S. did not even allow sites to count electronically prepared tax returns. And this year, the IRS not only has partnered with us to train its regional staff on the MyFreeTaxes software, but are encouraging their partners in all 50 states to use MyFreeTaxes. And it continues to be the only product of its kind, with no other site offering free state and federal returns for taxpayers for up to $57,000 adjusted gross income. MyFreeTaxes program is important to Walmart and our foundation because it serves the American who is our customer. It is the foundation's mission to create opportunities so people that can live better, and we consider it our responsibility to make a positive impact in the communities we serve, helping our customers and their friends and neighbors keep more of their money through getting an EITC tax refund if eligible, and not having to pay a tax preparer a fee to file their taxes will help people live better, one community at a time. It's going to be a tremendously impactful tax season for millions of taxpayers as you help them file their taxes for free and apply for the EITC tax refund if eligible. And this will allow those who need it the most to keep more of their hard-earned cash. This, our 5th year, our focus is going to be on expanding the number of people who gain the confidence to file their taxes themselves for free online. This is working to expand the accessibility of MyFreeTaxes to persons with disabilities. This we're going to offer greater support to tax filers through an expanded 211 call center to offer not only software questions but also tax content help to give filers the confidence to file themselves. And there we are partnering with the IRS to promote MyFreeTaxes as a safe, secure, trusted, free tax preparation service. MyFreeTaxes will be offered as a completely free service for both federal and state IRS returns. And this year we hope to build a network of providers such as yourselves in communities across America who will be able to use the MyFreeTaxes filing platform and the resources created for this year to promote free online tax filing to your unique constituencies. So in conclusion, this year we hope to help new populations through channels and promote the MyFreeTaxes as the best free filing system taxes in America, and through your hard work and partnership help millions of America have more money for the things that they need. So thank you for your attention today and your partnership with us in this endeavor. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Carol May, and thank you to Walmart for the great support on behalf of the National Disability Institute, United Way Worldwide, and Goodwill International. Just going to move forward here because we like to get into the partnership here. The national disability, okay, we're doing it here. The goal for the partnership this year are to increase, as Kim May said, the earned income tax credit through traditional and innovative free tax preparation, and you are going to hear about that from our partners. Increase the scale of online self-tax preparation, and increase outreach to previously underserved populations, including persons with disabilities. The MyFreeTaxes social impact is incredible. The work has been, this is just some research here for you to review and to look up if you're interested, because it has had, the ETC has encouraged this work, had more impact than the larger welfare impact. In 2012, the EITC and child tax credit lifted 9.2 million people out of poverty, almost 5 million of those children. It has provided a short-term safety net, and that research is pretty fabulous when you look at it, and impacts school performance. That phase that actually have raised an income about $3,000 a year, have over a number of years been shown to have significant increase in child's learning in the infant to 5-year-old category over their lifetime. So it's very, very powerful. Since 2009, the numbers are pretty amazing. Over 5 million taxpayers received $6 billion in tax refunds, 113% increase in the number of returns filed, and 117% increase in total tax refunds. Now we would like to hear from our partners from United Way Worldwide, Laura Scherler, who is Director of Income Capacity Building and has been the leader of this project for 5 years and just extraordinary, and it's a privilege to work with you, Laura. And Lee Davenport, who's been the architect of the actual software and online MyFreeTaxes from a consultant with United Way. Welcome.
Great. Thanks, Johnette.
You're welcome.
And Nakia, can I advance my own slides, or will you have to do that for us?
And advance your slides. Right above, you'll see a little arrow.
Oh, okay, thanks. So John asked me to start by providing just a quick overview of the MyFreeTaxes Partnership. As she and Carol May indicated, the partnership was launched in 2009 with the generous support of the Walmart Foundation, whose 4-year contributions total over $16 million, which has allowed us to build significant capacity in the field for free tax preparation services. As mentioned, the national partners that comprise the partnership are the National Disability Institute, United Way Worldwide, the Walmart Foundation, and up until about 6 months ago, we partnered with One Economy, a technology nonprofit that was critical in helping us to develop and push out the software piece. The purpose of the partnership is really threefold. It's to increase access to the Earned Income Tax Credit, and we do that by providing free tax preparation and filing services. And so we really focus on two methods of doing that. Obviously, the first is the traditional volunteer-assisted tax preparation, VITA sites that many of you have operated for years in your communities. We understand that VITA is a critical component of ensuring that low and moderate income families receive the Earned Income Tax Credit. We also, though, thought it was important to ensure that that there was a variety of different methods by which people could access free services, and we know that the world is increasingly online, and that self-preparation software is a good option for many people who have computer skills, but and have the ability to file their own taxes if they had the support and encouragement of a coach or a VITA certified volunteer that would be available to answer questions. So we have over the years integrated online self-preparation with traditional VITA services. We also really focus on expanding the people that we serve. And so we want to focus on, obviously, the traditional population, which in many cases is families with children. We also want to make sure that we're reaching those that haven't been the focus of free services. In some communities, that's racial or ethnic groups that are particularly underserved. That might be single adults whose EITC eligibility, often the amount that they're eligible for is smaller. And also, we have a significant focus on reaching persons with disabilities, as they are often disproportionately high percentage of people that fall below the EITC threshold level. I alluded to this earlier, but just to make sure that everyone is all on the same page as we move forward, there have been a number of changes to the partnership over the past 6 months. Unfortunately, One Economy is no longer participating in the MyFreeTaxes Partnership, and so we added, and we're thrilled to have, the addition of Goodwill Industries International as our third national partner. They have a tremendous network, both in terms of their workforce development efforts as well as their retail locations, and we're really excited to be working with Goodwill Industries International to promote free tax preparation across the country as we move forward. Since One Economy is no longer working with us, United Way Worldwide has assumed ownership of the MyFreeTaxes online tax preparation tool, and we're working closely with colleagues at Goodwill and NDI to update the software and roll it out in time for the upcoming tax season. So, as May mentioned, and I think Johnette mentioned in the presentation earlier, our goals are to increase access to the EITC, to increase the scale of online self-tax preparation, as we really think that online tools are the vehicle by which we'll create scale in the free tax preparation field. We know that VITA is critical, but it's also really resource intensive, and we know that in order to achieve some level of sustainability we'll have to think of new and innovative distribution mechanisms for free services, and we think that the online tool is a great way to do that. And obviously, we're focused on outreach to persons with disabilities.
It's Nakia. Could you speak a little bit louder? Some of the participants are having trouble hearing you. Thanks.
Sorry. So in terms of the program components and goals for United Way Worldwide, in our new role as managing and administrating the software, we obviously focused on increasing the number of individuals that pay their taxes via the online portal, MyFreeTaxes.com. We all continue to focus on increasing the capacity of local United and their partners to provide volunteer-assisted free tax preparation. And we continue to support our field, our members and their partners in those efforts. Along we are also really focused on increasing the capacity of local United Ways, support and promote self-assistance sites. We want to make sure that United Ways and their partners have the skills and tools and resources necessary to help their communities, the people in their communities, file their own taxes for free. There's some outreach and promotion that we can do on a national level, but we also recognize that people need access to local resources as well. And so building the capacity of United Ways and their partners to provide that support is really important. And obviously, we want to make sure that MyTaxes users have access to the tools and resources they need to be successful in using the software. And so a big component of our work this year is creating a customer support line, which includes tele access as well as email and a chat feature that will allow customers with either software or tax-related questions to access a call specialist or a VITA certified volunteer that can answer their questions. So the organizational support that's available to all, anyone, whether it's a United Way, local Goodwill, or other organization that is interested in promoting MyFreeTaxes. The partnership will make available a social media with content that can be customized and sent out to your network. Both customizable and pre-printed marketing materials, forms and templates that you can use at your local sites. A number of case studies that we've written regarding successful implementation of facilitated self-assistance, FAQs, which cover most of the questions that folks ask about both VITA and facilitated self-assistance. Also offer online software training and tutorials. We're in the process of putting together a calendar now for those up in trainings. For those that are interested in promoting the MyFreeTaxes tool either online or at facilitated self-assistance sites, we offer traffic and demographic reports, which are relatively real-time. We provide them once a week. So we have a sense of how many people are doing their own taxes with your support. We all have also work with the IRS relatively closely and are able to link customized URLs which track your traffic, the traffic that you create in your community, with an IDN number that will allow the IRS to actually record your returns and provide you data on the number of returns that are done via facilitated self-assistance. And the advantage of this really is to allow you to count those returns toward your VITA grant goals if you do have a VITA grant from the IRS. And obviously, we mentioned the centralized customer support via phone, email, and chat. And just a little bit more here about the training support that's available. In addition to the demonstrations via webinar and videos that I mentioned, we also offer training files, sample documents, and sample modules that allow people to practice using the software and help people better understand, the different steps that are involved and how to walk people through those steps. So we'll offer a helpline for partners. So if you have questions about training or the software, you have access to someone on our team who is very experienced in terms of software and working with clients and can help you navigate that process. Some more detailed information about the customer support line. The number is here. The customer support line will be accessible to all clients using MyFreeTaxes. The operation are 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Saturday. There will be a feature that allows an individual to leave a message during off hours, and calls can be returned generally within 24 hours. The helpline will be staffed by call specialists that have 2-on-1 certified training, as well as VITA certified volunteers. So these are individuals with very specific skills related to information and referral, and are experts at helping individuals, diagnosing the issue that folks are calling and helping them to address that. They'll provide email support and chat support during hours of operation. Contact information, as well as the contact information of my colleague Lee Davenport, is on the screen. We're happy to answer questions either about the software specifically, tools and resources that are available, or how you or your organization can get set up to promote MyFreeTaxes in your local community. I have a lot of information in the past couple of minutes in an effort to save time, but if time at the end for questions, either myself or Lee would be happy to answer any specific questions you have about the software, or how you would get set up with the custom URL. You'd work with your IRS to link it to a certification number that would allow you to complete the data tracking. And if we can be supportive or helpful in any way, please don't hesitate to contact one of us. Thanks, John.
Next, we'd like to hear from Robert Gamacho from Goodwill Industries International. Robert is the Family Financial Stability Program Manager for Goodwill Industries International. Welcome, Robert.
Well, like Laura said, we are new to the program this year, and we're really excited to be part of this partnership. I think we will bring a lot of things to the table. We have a strong distribution channel, and we can offer targeting the populations in 3 different ways. We have our employees, our clients and participants, and of course shoppers at our brick and mortar locations. So new to the MyFreeTaxes piece of this, many of our participants have been working with tax for a number of years, so in cases we will just be strengthening and building on the existing relationships we have both with the sites in our United Way and NDI. And I can't make that slide move.
Robert, above the presentation, you'll see a little arrow that goes to the right there. You want to click that, and that's how you advance your slides forward.
It's let me see if I can get it to move on this. There we go. Okay. So just over some of the program components and the goals for Goodwill here. We of course use our VITA sites and partners to educate people about the simplicity of selling taxes online or taking advantage of our SA sites. We have 8 headquarter Goodwills, subsidiaries. They're going to support at least 150 taxpayers in filing their online through MyFreeTaxes, so reach at least 1,500 taxpayers in that regard. And then working through our traditional VITA sites, we expect to reach another 21,000 taxpayers. So we're gonna do our outreach to our employees, all our participants, and our shoppers. We're gonna do it through print media, advertisement in the stores, job training centers, and social media. Anything that I would add on to that is we will also be doing office hours and acting with all our partners to make sure that we're successful in this endeavor. So we can move it on and save a little time for questions at the end.
as Manager of Financial Empowerment and Inclusion for NDI, and Jay Robinson. Welcome.
Thank you, Jeanette. I'm going to go ahead and get started with the tools and resources. As Jeanette said, I am with the National Disability Institute, and our goal, of course, is to provide all of you with the tools and resources that will assist you in your outreach to persons with disabilities when it comes to tax services. At NDI, we want to help everyone who is our partners within the network in improving accessibility and accommodations for individuals with disabilities, and making sure that we are helping to give the right tools, the right resources to network and communicate with the external partners that you are working with in your community, as well as provide you with education and training to different experts that are available in the disability community when it comes to accessibility, accommodations for individuals with disabilities, financial networking tools, etc. I'm just going to go over a couple of the tools and resources that have available through the National Disability Institute, and at a later date, you're welcome to follow up with any of us on our team if you have further questions. We created our virtual toolkit, which is available online. There's a link in this PowerPoint. I believe, as it was stated earlier, everyone who has joined our webinar today will receive a copy of this presentation, as well as the presentation, along with the recording of the webinar today, will be available on our website. So as you can see, we have several tools. This is just a little bit of an example to give you some idea on some of the things that you will be able to find when you go online to www.realeconomicimpact.org. We have created a disability awareness training for TCE volunteers and site coordinators that goes into depth about disability awareness, etiquette, site accessibility, touches on as well. So we have our social media kit, outreach flyers, our access program, many other wonderful tools that are on there that, of course, we couldn't go into detail today. However, in a future webinar, we will go into some of those tools. But we want to make sure that you are aware of the resources that are available. I wanted to highlight just one or two things that we have available, one being the disability awareness training. We developed this last year. At the moment, three different ways that you can really access disability awareness, which is such a important component when we're working with individuals and out in the public when it comes to tax preparation or whatever it is that we are doing out in the community. So as you can see, we have just launched an online learning course, which is very exciting. Any individual can go on. They take the course. We have the link here. It's an e-learning course, as I said. It goes through different modules, teaching you about etiquette surrounding either different types of disabilities, as well as what about service animals and some of the common questions we get, site accessibility, things like that, policies, procedures, some wonderful tools there. We also have that training available in a PowerPoint that you can download. It includes a full trainer script under the notes section. So if you have trainers that you would like to give that resource to, that they can in turn train their volunteers, that was perfect as well. We also have a video that we have created that our United Way of Buffalo and Erie County partner created and has allowed us to provide access to everyone. And it goes through, if you would prefer to give your volunteers a video to watch with an interactive learning experience that way. We have provided a resource through a partnership with the Southeast ADA Center and a project called Tax Access, which really helps to build awareness provide technical assistance to the Divida sites. And this was a collaborative project that we put together, and it provides a safe zone where questions and answers can be emailed directly to disability accessibility experts. And you'll see there, as I said, we have the website as well as a 1-800 number that you can call in and receive information directly from our partners at the Southeast ADA Center. Also this year, in the past, we've done work group meetings around the country. We're also looking at doing virtual work group meetings. We like to use the latest technology. We'll be hosting these meetings coming up in the future, and this allows our local partners in their communities to come together in their own offices. We know that budgets are difficult these days, but we can participate in an interactive meeting, providing a forum for community discussions surrounding disability issues, as well as provide training and technical assistance directly from our NDI team on a variety of topics that we really hope will enhance the services that you are providing to the public. So if you're interested in having or co-hosting one of these virtual workgroup meetings, you can contact myself or my colleague Jamie Robinson for more information on how to have a virtual meeting. I want to encourage you to continually check our website. We're always creating new tools, putting updates. We'll have the e-learning online courses as they come about. We'll be creating more of those. You're welcome to contact our staff and utilize Tax Access. We do a webinar series. We thank you for joining us today, and we will continue to do those webinar series on a monthly basis. Usually they're the third Thursday of every month around 2 o'clock. But again, I encourage you to visit our website, check out the webinar series. We do them on a variety of topics, both on accessibility surrounding education for persons with disabilities, as well as financial education. And we really try to bring experts around the country surrounding a variety of different issues. So then I hope you will check that out, as well as check out our archive of webinars that we have currently loaded on our website, where you can download both the presentations and the PowerPoints. Of course, contact information is listed here. You'll receive a copy of this presentation. And with that, I am going to turn it over to my colleague, Jamie Robinson.
Great. Thank you, Katie. Hello, everyone. I'm Jamie Robinson. I just want to start by giving you a bit of a background on the workforce development system before sharing more on how we'll be partnering with workforce regions across the country for MyFreeTaxes. Every year, approximately 20 million individuals are served by the workforce system, and many of you probably know the workforce system as providing unemployment benefits, but they really do many other employment services as well, including job training, education, financial aid. They assist with job search and placement. They offer career counseling, up-to-date labor market information to help identify job vacancies and the skills for in-demand jobs. They also serve employers, and they provide a single point of contact to list their openings and provide information about current and future skills needed. You may know of your local workforce center as a one-stop care center, or a completely different name like WorkSource, WorkNet, or there's a lot of different state-specific names like Iowa Works or Connecticut Works. And the U.S. Department of Labor recognizes that job seekers and businesses may not realize that the resources may connect them to training and other work supports. So they are currently in the process of taking steps to establish American Job Center as a unified brand to make it easier for both the workers and the businesses to find and use the services of the system. So you can find a new integrated online website for America's Job Centers that hopefully, as we move forward, will provide a single point of access to help individuals find jobs, identify the training programs, and be able to tap into all of the available resources. So why would you partner with an American Job Center? They serve a widely diverse customer base, many of whom are unemployed or struggling to stay within that low to moderate income range once they are employed. They have a range of co-located partners that target underserved groups who can definitely benefit from many of your services, tax, financial, asset building resources. And some of those include veterans, ex-offenders, people with disabilities, and also recipients of public benefits. And also an array of other programs that fall under support services that they provide, child care, transportation. Some also offer financial education and on-site tax preparation. And the key to those workforce centers that are integrating these services into their service delivery model, they're reporting that participants have a better set of tools to find work, to obtain benefits that help build sturdier financial futures and also have a higher likelihood of completing a skills program or staying on a job longer. So those are pretty powerful reasons. One initiative that help new partners to either get a foot in the door of a work center or maybe strengthen your existing partnerships for a greater impact is the Department of Labor's Disability Employment Initiative. Several years ago, they began awarding funding to, now it's up to 23 states, to improve education, training, and employment opportunities to youth and adults with disabilities. And this is the first U.S. Department of Labor initiative to include asset development as one of the major strategic components that will be implemented. And builds upon the Disability Program Navigator initiative by hiring staff with expertise in both disability and workforce development, and their title is Disability Resource Coordinators. So some of you may be familiar with the Disability Program Navigator initiative, and this systems change grant did end in most states. Some of you may have still have navigators that the workforce system decided to sustain. But the DEI builds off of that initiative to really focus on increasing employment outcomes for individuals with disabilities. So the Disability Resource Coordinators that are located within those 23 states, they're natural partners to MyFreeTaxes, to our tax, asset development, financial literacy partners. So I wanted to kind of bring the workforce system into the fold with MyFreeTaxes. This is what NDI is doing. We have selected 10 workforce regions across the country to serve as MyFreeTaxes pilot sites. And so for 6 months during the 2013 tax season, we are working with these 10 regions to fund VITA-certified tax coaches to work part-time. And pre-tax season, they'll be working together with the workforce staff as well as the disability resource coordinators, because we targeted the DEI states to really coordinate these efforts. And then also they'll collaborate with their local United Ways and their Goodwills, IRS partners, their other VITA coalitions and partners to raise awareness and access to free tax preparation. And then, of course, during the tax season, they'll provide on-site to the workforce customers with and without disabilities to file their returns on MyFreeTaxes. So just a few ways you can consider partnering with the workforce system. It's important, I think, for any prospective partner to have kind of a baseline of what's important to that system. They're approached by a lot of partners, probably on a weekly basis. So it's critical to think about how do your services, your resources, your programs directly impact the system's outcomes, which all come down to employment. So this involves really learning as much as you can about your local centers, their services, available resources, and basically their overall culture. You could start by connecting with your local workforce investment boards. We call them EBs. This is a business-led group that coordinates workforce strategies with education and economic development stakeholders to ensure that the workforce development and the job training needs of business are met. They actually oversee all of the job centers. So they're a great entity to approach. They tend to have more of a big picture mentality of economic wellness. And then you'll want to find out, do you have a tax coach in your region? Do you have a disability resource coordinator? You have a navigator. And if your job center houses any of these positions, they are going to be likely allies for you. So we can help figure out where you're at and if you have one of those positions. And then finally, you want to connect with job center manager. But I would keep in mind that if you've never been in a job center, it's a pretty crazy place. They're inundated with unemployment, people who are unemployed, and very busy, very committed staff and partners coordinating a diversity of programs. So again, I would go right back to, before approaching a center manager, I would learn as much as you can about the different layers of that system and programs. So here's my contact information. Please feel free to reach out anytime.
So much, Jamie. That's a great overview. And Katie. Next up, we would like to hear from our Director of Communications, Lisa Karp, from the National Disability Institute, Nicole Robinson, Director of Creative Services from United Way Worldwide, and Rachel Morales, from Manager of Marketing and Brand Development, Goodwill Industries International. Well, Lisa. Is mute. I'm not quite sure.
Can you hear now?
We can now.
Okay, sorry. Having some technical issues on my end today. Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm happy to be here with my colleagues Nicole Robinson and Rachel Morales to represent the marketing team from MyFreeTaxes. All three of our organizations are very committed to working with one another to create a national strategy for marketing and communications for this initiative, and that we're happy to share a quick overview of that with you today. For the MyFreeTaxes marketing team, our goals certainly are to support the programmatic goals of the program, which is to increase online filers, to also increase in-person filers through VITA and through the America's Job Centers facilitated self-assist sites, and as well as increase filers with disabilities. And we have created a marketing plan to do that. We are looking at leveraging our successes from past years and looking at our data of what worked best and how to reach our key audiences. We're committed to maximizing all media channels for this initiative, from traditional media through, public relations, outreach, marketing materials, advertising, and also through new media, through online, as well as social media channels. We're coordinating it on a national as well as local level, and really leveraging collaborative partnerships with various organizations and states and all of you out in the field. In order to increase some of the online filers, some of the key pieces we're looking at as a national collective is certainly a new website, which we'll get to in a moment here. Also, a social media campaign with some pre-written content, which Laura alluded to earlier, and which Rachel Morales will cover here shortly. Also, the Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube outreach. MyFreeTaxes has its own platforms has its own channels on these platforms. We'll be working again with sponsored bloggers, as well as doing the outreach to bloggers in the tax and personal finance space to promote the program. That was really a successful initiative last year. Also partnering with top referring sites who send traffic our way to MyFreeTaxes. Also maximizing social media tools such as Hootsuite and Gaggleamp to get the word out and amplify our message on social media. Also, MyFreeTaxes logo, including the .com, will help drive traffic to the site, and Nicole will cover that shortly here in a moment. We're also going to be providing web banners as well as using Google AdWords to push the initiative in the online space. Create key messaging that will be used in search engine optimization or SEO techniques to help raise the profile of the MyFreeTaxes website through search engines, and also through some multimedia news releases. In terms of increasing in-person filers, and also for online as well, just really pushing the initiative forward, there's going to be a national media campaign that will include multimedia news releases on a national and local level, media pitching. There will also be local press release templates for use for partners to push the initiative in their local market, as well as through the NAPS releases through English, Spanish, TV, and radio that helps to push initiatives in local newspapers, that these articles and TV and radio spots get picked up by the NAPS network. Also, there will be a radio media tour that will be in key markets across the country where we have experts interviewed locally on local radio stations about MyFreeTaxes. Also, print marketing materials that will include brochures, posters, fact sheets, flyers, bags, etc. And United Way's design team has done an incredible job with all those materials, so thank you. And also the key partnerships, again, working with leveraging our key partnerships with the IRS, states, key organizations, and certainly all of you out in the field. And increase filers with disabilities. National Disability Institute helps spearhead on behalf of the partnership a radio PSA program that we roll out with Radio Reading Service for the Blind, and it includes programmatic type PSAs as well as videos that are captioned and can be accessed on the YouTube channel, flyers with messaging specific to taxpayers with disabilities, as well as we will be creating outreach materials for America's Job Centers this year. And we will also be pitching the MyFreeTaxes initiative to disability media organizations and blogs for persons with disabilities. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to my colleague Nicole Robinson from United Way Worldwide to share with you some information on the website and the logo.
Hello. So I wanted to really talk about the MyFreeTaxes brand. And this year what we did was a brief refresh of the MyFreeTaxes brand. And what we wanted to do was really look at the look and feel of the collateral materials and the logo and create a consumer-friendly, easy-to-understand, trustworthy brand. We used the Walmart color palette and also correlated extremely well to our national colors. And the refresh of the brand actually just included the creation of the new logo, a website, and we updated most of the collateral materials. So I'll quickly run through kind of the MyFreeTaxes logo, which you have already seen. But what we wanted to do was to create a fun and energetic logo that is freestanding, that makes people and is remembered by most people. We also wanted to use an opportunity to promote one of our goals, which is to increase online filers. So we added the .com to the logo so that every time that you see it, you can always remember the website. The refresh of the website, what we really tried to do is really make sure that the website is customer focused and that was easy to use. And so what we did was we created a step navigation for each user. And when we look through the site, you'll see that a user is going to use step 1 through 4 to actually go through the online filing process. We also increased an area. We have 2 pods at the bottom that allows us to call out relevant information and use that as an area that we can refresh throughout the year. We've also created a partner information section, and what we want that to be is a one-stop shop for information. So we'll update that area regularly with resources as they come available, so feel free to go to that section of the website. What you'll see right now is a mock-up of the new website. As I mentioned before, the navigation are based into steps. We have included the pod areas. There's areas for you to look at a local Vita. If you're looking for a local site for you to actually do a filing center in your area, you can put your zip code in. A couple of things is the site also will be in English and Spanish. We're making it accessible, so there's no use of Flash or anything on this. So we really tried to make a site that is accessible by all. So actually, I will turn this over to Rachel, who will talk about social media.
Good, everybody. This is Rachel Morales, and it's wonderful to be online with everybody today. And as my colleague Robert said earlier, we're really thrilled to be part of the partnership this year, and I'll speak on the next slide about what Goodwill brings to the partnership, which is definitely a unique and far-reaching channel that I don't think has existed before, so it's really exciting. We're helping the partnership and all partners in the role of social media, and as Laura mentioned earlier, is increasing online, and so we're very tuned to that. In addition to the traditional marketing collateral that we are developing, at a local level, with all the sub-grantees. We're paying attention to how we can communicate out the partnership and resources in the digital world. Some of the tools and resources we are creating will be templated materials that are really meant to be a plug and play, making it easy for people at a local level on the marketing and communications teams to cut and paste the material and upload it into automated sites such as Hootsuite. The other aspect of the social media will be ongoing training for all of the partners. This will be available. We're sharing resources similar to what we're doing today for all of the local partners. And there, I believe the second week in January is a social media training webinar that will be presented out. Finally on this slide is a bullet about contest tactics. One of the things that we've seen success with organization, and I believe the partners as well have, and most people working in digital media these days, is really have a call to action on a campaign be related to a contest. People have to feel they've been successful in completing a contest, etc. And so we had several questions from the partners about whether this is a possibility, and we're in the midst of working with Carol at the Walmart Foundation and colleagues to see if this is feasible according to the grant. I mentioned before, as Carol mentioned in her opening remarks, it's really an exciting year, I think, for the MyFreeTaxes program, in that Goodwill brings to the partnership a unique opportunity to just really exponentially expand the reach of the program. Most people think of Goodwill as a retail store, and that certainly is what we're about. Mission is really about having a retail store that can help to fuel our mission of helping our people to find work. The 28 Goodwill affiliate locations will certainly be engaged in sharing information and content and marketing materials. Also can leverage the balance of our network, which consists of 165 agencies in total, and that's more than 2,700 stores across the United States. We also can take advantage of our VITA sites to communicate about the partnership, as well as reach into local partner organizations to share the information, because sharing, serving the same populations. Big tactics that we'll be delivering this year through the Goodwill sites will be a marketing tactic of shopping bags. And this will be a piece that can be used when someone comes into one of the Goodwill stores, purchases items, and their stuff goes into a bag, and it's going to be a co-branded piece that's all about the program, has the 3 partners logos on there, and just helps to spread a message about the services that are available. So we're really excited about that. This will also be available, of course, for community partner events. So if people are doing networking, informational sessions with booths, this is a really good tool for people to use to put materials in as they're going throughout the event location. With that, I'll say that this is our slide that shows all of the marketing contact information. We're certainly more than willing to be available as a resource to answer any questions, and really look forward to working with everybody on this part of this year.
Thank you so much, Rachel and Nicole and Lisa. It is so exciting to look at what is ahead of us for 2013. I'd like to open it up to any questions and answers. We have just about 5 minutes left here, so Nikki or were there any email questions that came in?
We had a few. I'm going to go ahead and unmute all of the panelists just that they can see any of the questions.
Sure,
I have about 3, and I think Katie might have some others. The first question, I think this is directed to Laura. Someone asked, are you able to customize the demographic reports?
I think it depends on what type of customization is being requested. I mean, we can provide, demographic information that is tax return. But beyond that, there are limits to what we can provide. And without knowing more about what kind of customization the question is asking about, it's kind of hard to answer. But happy to, if someone's interested in following up via email, I'd be to talk further. Lee, do you want to add anything to that?
I think that's a good answer. Thanks.
Okay. This is also a MyFreeTaxes question for you, Laura or Lee. The person wrote, I see that the hours are 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., but what days does this cover? Monday through Friday, Monday through Saturday?
Monday through Saturday.
Okay. Jamie, I think this question is for you. I'm in Indianapolis, and we do have Work One centers here. Do you know if they have tax coaches locally?
Well, that's not one of our pilot sites, but if we connect offline, we can look into some other options.
So for the person that asked the question to Jane, or asked the question about the Work One centers, if you could email Jane at jrobinson@ndi-inc.org, and she will answer that question for you. Next is, what type of information is included in the traffic reports? And I believe this is for Lee or Laura.
Lee, why don't you answer that?
So the traffic report is done weekly to the address that registers for the account. And so we get started in the season, so I make the first week of February, we already have traffic on and send accounts that have been created, and we'll send the taxes that have been filed. And then at the come to the season, we'll send that standardized aggregated demographic survey, which is EIT, CTC, tax credit, earned income tax credit, regions, average, and total, and we'll send average, and we'll send some demographic information around the file type, single, head of household, married, etc.
Thank you. We've had a bunch of questions come in that's kind of revolve around sort of the same thing. First, a couple people are asking when the MyFreeTaxes site will go live, and the subsequent question I think will depend on that date is where and when can we access all of the tools that you guys discussed.
So this is Nicole. The deadline would be December 21st, so we're working really hard to get to that point. And then the resource section will be up at that time. Say December 21st or very close to it.
Okay, thank you. Jeannie.
At the end, sorry, Nick. Yeah, it's the materials that have been developed from the previous years, which are pretty much evergreen. The case studies, the last year's modules, last year's how-to toolkits, social media stuff. If you want to get an advanced start, that stuff is there. There's stuff coming out this year, but to get an idea of what's out there already, go to, there are actually places to go. MyFreeTaxes.com. The current page is still up, so this last year's page. If it looks old, it's because it is. That's the old stuff, and at the bottom there are two tabs, one for volunteers. Those are handy tools for volunteers, including the training, and then there one for partners, which is all the materials that are available for download. Tons and tons of information there. So they're available now, and they'll be ported over and refreshed. The season starts.
Thank you, Lee. Someone asked, will there be brick and mortar locations available to help persons with their taxes?
So I'll jump in and say, in addition to the around 11,000 VITA sites, that there are places where people can go and have their taxes prepared by a volunteer income tax assistance certified volunteer tax preparer. That's a mouthful. In addition to those 11,000 sites, which you'll be able to locate and find according to code on MyFreeTaxes, the website. There will be, at this point, looks like around 100, I want to say 500 or 600 sites where people can go and get their taxes coached. So we have volunteers to prepare taxes at several sites. This is an old program called VITA. There's something like 25 years old. And then relatively new are the facilitated self-assisted sites, and there are around 500 of those sites that are going to support this year. And we'll post those addresses are. There will be addresses somewhere.
Thank you. We have a couple questions coming in about specific tech coaches and United Way Goodwill participate in different areas. One was a question about South Louisiana. Is there United Way or Goodwill participating there? I don't know if anyone on the line knows that. And
geography ignorance, but what can you be more specific about?
I could answer that. In previous years, we worked with United Way of Southeast Louisiana, so SCLA, and worked with the New Orleans-based Louisiana. So again, I don't know if they're currently a partner, but they have been a partner for a couple of years, so they'll have experience with partnership.
On the Goodwill side, that we, as sub-grantees, we don't have anyone down in that area.
And we have one more question. For the organizations that are also receiving the VITA grant, are we able to count the numbers from the Free Taxes site?
Yes. The answer is yes, with a couple of yes ands, meaning that the organization would have to have a vanity URL, meaning they would have to apply for and receive a URL such as, myfreetaxes.com/Tampa or myfreetaxes.com/Detroit, wherever your local community is, and then it would be linked to an SIDN number that would allow the IRS to track those return their ends. As long as those two things happen, you have to have a customized URL which is attached to an SIDN, which allows us to track returns, which allows IRS to track returns, and then those returns can be counted towards VITA grant numbers.
Thank you. I think that is all the questions that we have.
All right. Well, this has been a great hour, and thank you for all hanging in there a few minutes extra and for the great questions from the field. And again, please feel free, if we didn't get exactly to your question, to email us, and we will get back to you. I want to thank Carol May from the Walmart Foundation for the vision and support that is pioneering this work. I want to thank United Way Worldwide, Laura and Nicole and Lee for this, for the work and the partnership. And I want to thank Rachel and Robert from Goodwill Industries International for our new partnership. And, of course, my team, Lisa, Jamie, Katie, and Nakia. So thank you, everybody, and we'll talk to you next month, and I hope you all have a great holiday. Thank you.